Hello, everybody. It's Chris Johnstone here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome to our weekly training. And today we're going to be going through our mortgage marketing video blueprint. So I would love to, while we have everybody kind of piling in here, I would love to get your feedback because some of you are using video very well, and we see you posting videos inside the group, looking for feedback. I've done a fair amount of making sure that I get out there and follow all your different Facebook pages and all of those wonderful things. And I'm seeing great video content going out there. But how many of you, with a digital raising of the hand, just typing yes into the chat panel, how many of you are using video in your marketing right now? And that way we can kind of get a feel for, how much of the membership is really kind of on board with video, how many of you are still getting started. So if you are using video marketing in your mortgage business right now, go ahead, hit me with a yes inside the chat panel. Now, the other thing about video marketing, it's a super broad topic. So for me to be able to come in and give you a walkthrough, the amount of stuff that we can talk about when it comes to video marketing is almost endless. So what I would also like to do is kind of know your number one questions. What's the number one thing that you struggle with video marketing? So if you're doing video marketing, what are some of the hiccups that you're running into? What are you having trouble with? Totally happy to help you with those. If you're not doing video marketing yet, why? What's stopping you? What are the hurdles that you're running into? Like, really kind of let me know what your questions are. We'll go through them in the Q&A, but what it also does is it gives me the ability to create specialized content for you in the future. I mean, for those of you that are members of the Freedom Club, we had a question about a Facebook marketing campaign that came in the other day. And yesterday, after I put the kids to bed, I just couldn't let the question go unanswered. So I sat down, I shot a half-hour campaign walkthrough, and then posted it out for the members of the Freedom Club there. If you can't tell, I'm super passionate and somewhat super nerdy about this stuff. I love this stuff. It's what I do in the evenings for fun. So if you let me know how I can best help you, I'll find the resources. I'll put together the training to make sure that you get what you need, because video marketing is an absolute moving forward in marketing, in advertising, in your business. Whether you're using personalized one-on-one BombBomb videos to connect with your past clients, or you're using videos and just like the class that we did on how to do a virtual coffee appointment with your realtors, that's video marketing, right? If you're producing content, putting it onto social media to generate leads, to build brand awareness, that's video marketing. Every single piece of communication in your business will perform better when you layer video on top of it. And our customers are ready. 4 years ago, we didn't have massive broadband networks and everybody walking around with a smartphone. It was getting there. But today, almost everybody has broadband. Almost everybody has a cell phone. And our clients, our customers, are transitioning away from traditional television into online video, online media. People want to, they're getting away from 55-inch flat screens, and we're all looking at them on like 6.5-inch screens we carry in our pocket. The screen size is getting smaller, but the connection is getting better. Rather than watching big broadcast shows, they want to be more natural, more organic. So not to get too far off on how things are changing, I do want to keep focused on the video marketing blueprint. But how many of you have been watching what Facebook has been doing since the old more people staying home thing happened? So if you're paying attention and you're on your desktop computer, you will notice on the right-hand side, a while ago, they started showing you who was actually active on the network while you were logged in. So you see your friends list over on the right-hand side, and they got a little green light beside their name if they're online. So you can direct message them, or that they're ignoring you. You do direct message them and they don't message back. But here's the really cool thing. A couple of weeks ago, live videos started popping into your news feed without you scrolling for them. So I don't know if you noticed, but they've started taking live events that are under verified accounts. People like Gary Vee, the large broadcast networks, and they're working this into other things. But when those channels go live, it will actually pop up on your screen in the bottom left-hand corner that a page that you're following or somebody has gone live, and the live video just pops right up on your screen. You don't have to interact with it at all. That is a huge play by Facebook and Instagram and all of these online platforms. They're becoming the new television channels, right? Because what's better than watching your regular television show? Watching your regular television show with 30 of your friends where you can have a conversation about it while you're watching the show at the same time. That's where Facebook and a lot of these sites are going with this content. And eventually they want to take over. And again, this is hearsay, it's just my opinion, but done a little bit of research on this. They want to become the new, the new NFL. Like when you're watching football on Sundays, football happens on Sundays, right? I'm not a huge sports guy, but just as an analogy, when you're watching football on Sunday afternoon, you're not watching it on the television anymore. You're watching it on your social network and interacting with people around it. And the reason why they've started to make that switch now is because the market is ready, right? If you look at how many hours of online video people consume each week, the top 20% consume over 7 hours of video content a week right now. Think about that. 7 hours. That's a whole work day out of 7 days, where 20% of the online population is just actively digesting and watching video. So our customers are engaged by video. It helps you build a bond. It gets them to know you, like you, trust you. Your advertising campaigns will perform better. Your database marketing campaigns will perform better. The relationships that you build with your referral partners will be stronger. You'll get more referrals. You'll keep those relationships for longer. Video has so many different benefits to it. So there are 3 styles of video that you can essentially use. And for us in the mortgage business, these are really the 3 main templates that you need to kind of keep in the back of your head. And you can use one, or you can use all 3 for different, varying purposes that you want to put. Now, so we'll go from right to left here. Okay. So the animated videos, I've got resources for you here. There's powtoon.com, there's Fiverr, where you go and get these animated videos. And these are great for explaining your products and services. So, what do you need when you come in with your documentation? It makes it fun. It makes it easy to watch. Millennials will engage in it. You don't have to be in front of the camera explaining. Somebody else does the voiceover. Somebody else does the animation. You just write out a script of what you want it to say, send it out, have it produced. Animated videos do very well to engage, but what we've discovered that animated videos do very well with people that you already have a relationship with, people that have already been introduced to your brand, people that are already, so I just want to make sure we don't have any technical issues here. Excellent. Okay. So that animated video type is for after somebody knows you, likes you, and trusts you, to help explain things to them, work them through the process, generate referrals, or somebody that has become a lead and then you're following up with them to educate through the process. But they don't really work that well for lead generation specifically. The types of videos that we see working really well for lead generation and for making that bond up front, for introducing yourself to new referral partners, or reconnecting with old customers, or running ads online, are the screen capture style videos and then the social style of videos. Now, a screen capture is just like this, what we're doing here on Zoom. You can literally start a Zoom meeting with a PowerPoint presentation up, have your face on camera if you want, or you can just turn the camera off, just have the screen capture of your screen and walk people through a sales presentation or any type of presentation that you want, and then put that online. That now becomes a sales tool and a sales asset in your business. We just produced a screen capture video, and I'm going to walk you through the whole thing here today, how I whiteboarded out the process of the video and how to map out your videos, then how I created it, then how I shot it and how we put it out there. It's been an incredible lead generator for us, and I'm not even on camera. It's just got our little logo on it and just really good high quality information on it. And I'll show that to you as part of the presentation here today. So that's a screen capture style video. People are basically watching your computer screen on their computer screen. If you've been on YouTube, you've probably seen one of those as an explainer video for something that you're interested in. So on the social style, that's where you're in front of the camera. You are essentially the front and center. Some people call these talking head videos, but these are videos of you in an environment where you're speaking directly to the person that you want to talk to, or you're creating content to generate leads or to talk to your referral partners. Again, this style of video is the one that performs best on social media for us and for lead generation, all those sorts of things, because people get to know you, like you, trust you, they see your face, they hear your voice, and you're able to give them an experience through that video. So those are the three styles, and I'm going to teach you how to create all three of them here today. So we have the social style, the screen capture style, and the animated style. So we'll start with the social style, and this is you creating your own videos. So in order to shoot these, you don't really need any fancy video equipment anymore. Your cell phone has a 1080 camera in it, most likely, right? So you can shoot these right on your smartphone. Now, you do want to make sure if you're in your office, you have a nice professional looking background. So I don't know if y'all watched the name escapes me right now, but all of the artists came together and they did it wasn't a fundraiser, but it was like the big thing that they put together with all of the artists. And I was shocked as we were going through that, like some of these artists are in their bedroom performing their music and like didn't even make the bed in the background. This is like this globally syndicated event, right? You want to make sure that you have a nice professional looking background. Obviously, with us being in financial services, if you've got a nice looking library background with all of your books and your education, all of those sorts of things work for a great background. But you can also find a nice cozy place in your backyard as long as it's not too noisy. But the main point is that your background should be a background. And what I mean by that is that you don't want what's going on in the background to take away from you and your message. It should be somebody looks at your video, they see where you are, but their focus is directed towards you. So you can see our background is custom built exactly for this, for video marketing. It looks nice, it looks professional, but it is somewhat bland because the focus is on the content, not the background. That's why we didn't hang all of like the pictures and the stuff. We wanted it to be plain to kind of focus on the content. So you want to be well lit. So we've got a ring light there on Amazon. Again, if you're shooting outside, make sure that the light is behind the camera. I mean, pretty basic tips, but it makes all of the difference, because if you're shooting and the sun is in front of the camera, you are going to get washed out. People aren't going to be able to see your facial features. You'll be dark. And again, that's just going to highlight what's around you, and people won't watch your video because it's distracting, right? So, so make sure that you have a tripod. So when you shoot your videos, they're still, you don't want to shoot those Blair Witchy style, like cameras all over the place where they're following you. I see a lot of people trying to do that to get like that social feel to it. If you look at the ones that are done really well by the top YouTubers, it seems like it's very shaky, but what they're doing is very strategic pans and tilts that are, it's a cinematography effect, not just them wiggling the camera around. For us, what we need is a stable tripod, stable frame, not shaky, professional, right? The next thing that you need to know about these videos is that you want your audio to be great. Many top people will state that your audio quality is the most important aspect of your video. Even if your video is a little bit grainy or your lighting's off a little bit, people will forgive that and they'll still watch the video. But if your audio is bad and people can't hear you, or it's crackly, or you sound like you're in the other room because your microphone's not close enough, people will stop watching immediately. Your audio needs to be good. So this Rode lavalier mic is fantastic. There's also a mic that you can buy on Amazon. If you just type in lavalier mic, there's one on there for like $19 that has like a 10-foot cord on it. So you can plug it into your cell phone, clip it onto your shirt, and as long as you're within 10 feet of your camera, you've got really nice, high quality audio. And again, you just want to clip it, do a test, and then you're good to go. But the audio is very important. So before we run any further on that, I just want to check and make sure we don't have any questions here or anything that needs to be. Oh, this is awesome. Tony, congratulations. Way to be on the video bandwagon. Kimberly, don't worry, we'll get you there. Vince, yes to video. Awesome. Charlie. Debbie, we're going to get you there. Excellent. So Neil says, concerned about compliance. So Neil, absolutely, you should be cognizant of compliance, but you know your compliance rules. As long as you're out there, you're helping people, your videos are going to be all right. So Vince has a great question here. Should videos be edited or more natural / organic? So Vince, I believe that there's a time and a place for both. Having a professionally produced video on a major marketing piece that you're putting out there, like it's going to be a video that you're going to put on social media, you're going to drive a bunch of advertising and traffic to it. Yes, that should be produced somewhat. It can still be a cell phone video, but you want to make sure that you have a videographer either clean it up for you a little bit. But if you're going on Facebook Live and you're just, hey, rates changed today, here's what you need to know about it, and you're just updating your past customers, you're updating your realtors, raw, natural, that's perfect. It's okay for you to mess up the occasional word or whatever that is. That natural, organic, on social media content can't be highly polished or produced, because then it's inauthentic and people won't watch it, right? So your advertising and the things that you're investing money to get eyeballs on should be well thought out and produced. But that natural stuff where you're communicating to people that already kind of know you, like you, and trust you, it's okay for that to be organic feeling. Pete, don't worry about not knowing where to get started. That's why you're here. This is where you get started. This is amazing. So excellent. So, all right. Oh, and the I don't even know what to call it. Not the telethon, but it was the Global Citizen event that they did on there. And y'all are going to have some more beautifully produced videos than what we saw on there by the time you're all done with video marketing. So what I wanted to give you here is one of my top tips, and something that took our video production really to the next level. And we've had a number of people reach out to us and notice the change. So originally I started out by producing all of our videos. So I had the tripod, or my wife would hold the camera and I would have the mic, and then I would get it and I would take it home and I would edit it all together and produce it out. And in the beginning stages, sometimes you just have to do that to know what works and what doesn't. But if you go to our YouTube channel, there's videos on there from 10 years ago of like the worst video you can possibly imagine. And last year in November, we produced a course. It was Mortgage Marketing Class, and it was a 4-part video series where we walk through different aspects of how to use online marketing to grow your mortgage business. So video number 1 was database, video 2 was referrals, video 3 was marketing. And I hired a videographer to come and produce all of that content for me. And this is how I found the videographer. I went on to Google and I did a Google search for wedding videographer near me. So I did that search, and the cool thing about wedding videographers, and again, in the current environment, you might not want to have a videographer come to your location and shoot this, but what we're doing now with this videographer, I'm shooting all of the footage, sending it to him. he's producing it's coming back and it looks twice as good as if I had edited it. I don't know how he does it, but he puts these filters on it, makes it all look all great. And that's beyond me because I'm a marketing expert. I'm not a video expert. Just like yourself, you're a mortgage expert. You're not a video expert. So this wedding videographer, they only work on the weekends. They don't have any gigs during the week. But most wedding photographers and videographers are passionate about photography. They're passionate about video. That's why they're doing it. They're not necessarily in it per se for the money. They just do weddings because they pay well. So we reached out to 4 different wedding videographers and said, hey, we're a local company. We're wondering if you can do a half-day shoot, talking head style stuff, pretty basic. Have you ever worked with any companies before? Do you provide all the equipment? Can you give us a quote? So long story short, we had some crazy quotes that came back, and one gentleman came back and he said, hey man, I'll show up for the half day. I'll bring everything you need, the lights, the cameras, the microphones, everything that you need is included. I'll spend the half day shooting all the content. I'll take it back, edit it, produce it, put the sound behind it, and deliver it to you, and it'll be $1,000. I said, all right, man, let's rock. Let's do it. And that's exactly what happened. He showed up, did the whole thing. I had 4 professionally produced videos, and it turns out we're friends now. Yeah, and he comes and twice a month, and he shows up, obviously not in the current environment, but again, I'm shooting the content, sending it to him. He's now producing it and sending it back to us. Now, I realize $1,000 a month might be out of somebody's budget, but I do believe that in some marketplaces, you could probably get that same thing for $400, $500 a month. And that way you just don't have to mess around with any of it. Know your content, have the videographer show up and do all of the video stuff that you don't want to mess around with. And voila, a week later, you've got these beautifully produced videos that do a great job of promoting your brand. So if you're doing the talking head stuff, try it out, see how you do with it, but know that you can always fall back on a videographer, okay? Now, screen capture videos like this, these are perfect for explaining detailed mortgage information after somebody's become a lead, to explain to them, okay, if you're gonna submit a mortgage application, here's all the documentation that you need. Or if you wanna find out how much you qualify for, here are the questions that we're gonna ask you so that you can be prepared when you show up to the appointment. There's all kinds of different ways. These are actually great. We've noticed for after somebody expresses interest in a product in an advertisement, to give them specific details about your loan products and how they help people in a specific environment. So we have people that are using these in our Done For You program where we run the advertising for them. And they have explainer videos for mortgages that have to do with Homes for Heroes. There's campaigns out there that explain mortgages and how that relates to divorce and how to best navigate that scenario. First-time home buyers, the things that you need to know as a first-time home buyer. The people that have questions about that specific topic will watch the video, and screen capture videos allow you a structure where it's easy for you to produce. You don't necessarily have to be in front of the camera, and you're able to give a very professional video because it's structured. You just need to turn on the sound and read the slides that you've pre-prepared. So if you're just dipping your toe into the water with shooting video, screen captures are a great place to get started because they keep you structured and it allows you to kind of do a couple of them until you're comfortable actually getting it out there. So my recommendation is to use Zoom to record them, because again, you can sign up for a free Zoom account, turn on the screen capture, your mic will automatically sync up. You can turn the camera on if you want or not, but it's just a Zoom meeting by yourself, right? You produce it and record it and then save it and your video is done, right? Now there is software. If you're on a PC, there's Camtasia that you can get, and that's so that you can take the video and edit it afterwards. So you can chop off the beginning, chop off the end, you can add music behind it, that sort of thing. So Camtasia for the PC or ScreenFlow for the Mac. And both of those will allow you to, if you and ah through the presentation a little bit, which is totally normal, that's gonna happen in the first little bit, it's okay. I have, hands up, I've gone through videos and chopped out all the ums and ahs, and you look at it and it used to be one beautiful clip, and then it's like 25 different small segments because he took out every and ah. I've been there. I've done that when we first got started with video, and you can do that using either Camtasia or ScreenFlow. Video is one of those things where you have to practice it. It's just like learning piano or guitar or math or whatever. You can tell I've got young kids at home right now, but you just have to practice it. But by the time you've done it 6, 7, or 8 times, all of a sudden you're flowing and you're able to produce these really great sounding videos that you weren't able to before. You just need to practice it, right? Now, again, audio, very important for your laptop or your desktop computer. Although they come with microphones, you will get much better sound out of an external mic. So this is the mic that I'm using here. It's the one that I recommend in the slide presentation there. This is an ATR 2100 from Audio-Technica. They're $100. There's a Yeti microphone, which Carl uses, and Scotty uses the Yeti mic as well. I use it as well when we're doing some of our production stuff, but it's a big mic that sits on your desk. It actually looks quite impressive if you're, if you have people that come into your office. So that option's there for you as well. So now on the screen capture, what I wanted to do is kind of give you a live example of how I produce this content. So we're just going to, awesome. And what I am going to do is I'm going to answer all of these questions that are on here once we're done the content. So I'm going to get through this content real quick here, and then we'll get into the Q&A and hang out with the Q&A. So I'm just going to structure this way because I want you to see this. So this is my whiteboard. And you can see over on the right-hand side, my daughter is practicing writing her name. And so whenever I'm in my office working on my whiteboard, the kids are always in there drawing and stuff like that. But this is my process for how we produce content and how we produce sales videos in our business. So there's a process of how you create this content and how you structure your videos. So the content is the opening. And at the very beginning in the opening, this can be as short as 10 or 15 seconds, just a statement at the beginning of the video, because when people are on social or they're on YouTube, they want to know what's in the video right up front. Like, am I investing in this video? Like, what's going to happen for the next 3 to 5 minutes of my life? You have to tell people exactly what's going to be in the video. Otherwise, they won't watch it, right? So you have to open up with your name, your title. Here's what you're going to learn in this video. Very clear, right? Just like we did at the beginning of this presentation. Hey, we're going to teach you how to use video marketing in your mortgage business right now. You're in the right place if you want to do a better job with video marketing. Then the framework, what you do is you tell them the individual pieces of the topic up front. So in today's video, we're going to teach you how to apply for a mortgage so that you can find out what you qualify for and what your monthly payment will be. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about your credit, we're going to talk about your employment, and we're going to talk about your down payment. And we're going to go through why all 3 of those things are super important. Now, and then you move into the next phase. So they know the topic is getting qualified for a mortgage and finding out if they qualify. And then the 3 pieces of content that you're going to go over are their credit, their down payment, and their employment. So again, their brain understands what they're going to get in the video. So they want to stay and watch to the end because you've told them what to expect. It's like the old, how do you put together a sales presentation for somebody? You tell them what you're going to tell them, you tell them, and then you tell them what you told them, and then you close, right? That's been an age-old stage presentation formula, and it works the exact same in online video. We're just shortening it. Rather than a 1-hour keynote, it's a 3.5-minute video that we're producing. So then the content comes. So you teach each piece of the framework that you told them that you were going to teach them, and then you summarize. You say, okay, here's what we learned in today's video. Your credit score needs to be in this level, and here's where you go to get your free credit report so that you can know what's going on. You're going to need to be employed. So if you're, and then you teach them on that topic a little bit, and then you summarize the 3rd point, and that's your summary. Then you give your pitch. The pitch, again, for a mortgage video, I believe that a simple pitch, like if you'd like to find out how much you qualify for, along with what your monthly payment and rate will be, you can book a complimentary one-on-one mortgage analysis today by going to www.yourwebsite.com or call us at, and then you give your phone number, and then you give the social close after the pitch, which is, if you liked this video, please like, comment, share. And if you know anybody that's looking to buy, sell, or refinance right now, please pass this video along to them, share it with them. Thank you so much. And don't forget to hit subscribe. And then away you go. You're all done. So that's the video structure of how you lay out a presentation. So in my mind, sometimes I'll review this, but we've done so many of them, it's kind of ingrained. I know I've got 6 basic steps I need to take people to. So when I go to the whiteboard, I know, okay, what's the topic and what is that topic made out of? And then what's the content going to be? So I bullet point out, okay, main topic is attention mortgage professionals. Did you know? And in this particular presentation, and I'll walk you through it. This was specific for Canadian customers that we were looking to generate. In that market, 75% of mortgages go to the banks. They don't go through the mortgage broker channel. And right now the banks are closed. Online shopping has never been higher. Social media usage has never been higher. And so what we're going to teach you how to do is how to go get those customers. And here's the 3 things that you need to know about that, the actual content that's in there. And then we put together here's what you learned, the pitch and the close, right? It's the exact same formula. And I just bullet point out each of the key points that I need to have in the presentation. It's super important to do this step before you start producing your video, or before you've got the videographer there, or before you're trying to actually shoot the video. Because what I've discovered over time is that your brain can't put together the presentation and deliver it at the same time. You already have to know what's in the presentation and where the end is before you present the content. So you've got to have these bullet points out before you actually start to put together the presentation. So what I did with this presentation, I was like, okay, I've got my bullet points. I know exactly what I want to do. If I don't have visuals behind this kind of stuff, people aren't going to be able to understand or comprehend what I'm walking them through. So I went to canva.com, which is where I produce the slide decks, right? So what you're looking at now is my canva.com account. And you'll notice the first thing that I had on the whiteboard was attention mortgage professionals. There's my first slide. Then I take my next bullet point. 54% of all mortgages in Canada go through a bank branch. Then I go to my third bullet point. Only 22% of mortgages come from the brokerage channel, right? So then the next bullet point is the bank branches are closed. People don't want to go into a branch right now. And if you take a look at online shopping, it's increased 33% in the last month. So all I'm doing in these slides is I'm following the bullet points that I've laid out for these people. So, and in my text, in what I'm actually saying in the video, right up here at the front, I say, attention mortgage professionals, if you're looking to generate more clients and looking to generate more refinance deals right now, I've got some shocking information for you. Check this out. Then we give them that hook that's going to get them into the video. And this is me teaching them, right? This is bullet point number 1 is, did you know? Right? So we're teaching them through this process, letting them know that we're going to teach them how to actually generate these deals. And then we back it up with some information about Google Trends and the spikes that have happened online right now for people looking for mortgage rates and refinances. And then more data. And again, this is every single slide that you're seeing is one of those bullet points that I had laid out on the whiteboard. If I tried to create this presentation by just going to Canva and lay it out, I wouldn't be able to sequence the slides properly without having the overall plan first. So you got to have that overall plan first, then making the slides becomes real easy. You just know, okay, I'm on point 9, slide 9, point 10, slide 10, point 11, slide 11, right? Super easy to get it going. And then this is where we're actually transitioning into the call to action. So we've taught them why there's a big transition into online. We've taught them why these people are going to be moving away from the bank branches. And now we're transitioning into, here's how we can help you go get those customers. Same thing with you. You would teach them, hey, you know, a lot of people in today's marketplace are considering a refinance. Here's the 3 things that you need to look at when you're doing a refinance. You teach them those 3 things about refinances, and then you transition into, if you want to find out how much equity you can access in your home right now and what rates are doing, give us a call, do this analysis, right? So your process is going to be the exact same. Your slides are going to be a little bit different, but the process is the same. And then we get down to the bottom, and then we give the pitch, right? And then at the very bottom, after we've gone through, we give them a call to action. Go to cigrowthcall.com, book a call with us, and we'll let you know if we can generate mortgage appointments or refinance applications in your particular marketplace, right? But you can see that, and this is not a pitch for that, but that whole video and that production, and that video ended up coming out at like 4 minutes, 30 seconds. This framework came first. Then there was a slide that got put to each of the bullet points that were associated with it. And that's how we produce the video. The process that I go through to make the talking head videos and the produced videos is the exact same. So oftentimes what we'll do is I'll have the whiteboard with us and it'll be behind the videographer. So I'll know what bullet points I'm on, or I'll take a sheet of paper and I'll have the 3 or 4 main bullet points that I'm going to do, and I'll lay them on the floor. So I can talk to the camera and then just very quickly just glance down and right back up. And it seems natural that you're just kind of glancing off camera for a second, but it's not, you're not staring and reading like a newscaster that isn't very well trained off into the distance so they know that you're reading a script that you've produced to make this really awesome video. It's actually a conversation because you're just reading a bullet point, you're not reading a script. And that produces a much more professional video because it forces you to rely on your knowledge and how good you are as a mortgage professional, not how good you are as a scripter of video content. So if you just have a bullet point and you imagine that you're just talking to a client across the desk from you, your videos will just pop off and become very easy for you to do because you don't have to feel scripted. You just have to feel like the expert that you are. And all we're doing is we're just delivering to a camera rather than delivering to somebody that's sitting at a desk. Once you get over that, it's actually easier because the camera isn't, it's for a nerd, it's a lot easier to talk to a camera than it is to talk to somebody else. So our third video here is the animated one. So there's a service out there called powtoon.com, and you can buy the software and make your own animated videos, which I don't recommend at all. You should have somebody that can do that for you, which is why there's a service out there called fiverr.com. If you write a 150-word script, you can get an entire animated video that's about 3 minutes long for a 150-word script. You can get that produced for about $100. You send over the script, they get the voiceover expert, they put together the whole thing. You get to modify it a couple times before the final proof is done, and away you go. They're the ones that are using Powtoon, but it's actually cheaper for you to pay a contractor and have them do it for you than it is to originally buy the software and do it yourself. So fiverr.com. There's also upwork.com. So upwork.com. That's also a fantastic service to find people to do this stuff for you. And all you have to do is type in animated video, do a search, and there's all kinds of experts out there that can build that stuff for you. You just have to have your script laid out. And again, your script starts as a bullet point list. You write out each of the bullet points that you want, and that's your script for the video. Again, don't sit down in front of a blank piece of paper and feel like you have to craft this amazing video marketing sales message. Just take that 6-step layout and follow it with the bullet points, and the rest of it will just naturally flow once you've completed your first workflow. It's I learned that years ago, and it has it's made a tremendous difference in our video marketing. So I hope it does the same for you as well. And away we go. So we've got that one. Now, this is also, I feel, very important for us to understand that there are two different types of video. And there is the content and education piece. And these are the videos where you're teaching people about the different mortgage products that you have, the different lender products that you have, or loan products that you have. And these are the types of videos that you put on YouTube and that you put on social media based on the keyword, like how to get approved for a mortgage, how to buy my first home in Florida, right? You go to Google, do a little bit of searching on what people are typing into the search engines, and then you just produce your video content to answer those questions. It'll rank well in YouTube. You'll be able to actually get traffic from YouTube for people in the local marketplace. You're just answering the most frequently asked questions so that people will watch your videos, subscribe, go into your audiences so that you can advertise to them, right? Again, if somebody opts in on one of your funnels, you should be sending them these content videos and education videos. Your bomb videos that bond you with people fit into that content and education category where you're keeping in touch with people. You're using video to build that relationship. Then, and you can produce a ton of that stuff. The 90% of the videos that I produce are in the content and education department of, we're trying to help people. We're trying to solve their problems. We're trying to give them roadmaps. We're trying to make a loan officer's job of marketing easier by providing helpful, useful content that they can actually use and get a result from. That's where we spend 90% of our time, right? The 10% is the pitch. And the pitch is telling people exactly how to become a customer, what to do next. And these are your very quick, very punchy. There is no content. It's a straight pitch that people see from you after they've gotten to a certain point. So the pitch video can go on the homepage of your website, because if somebody's come to your website, they've been referred by a past customer, or they've been referred by a realtor, or they've already spoken to you on the phone because they're an online lead and they're going to your website to either fill out an application or take the next step in the process. The pitch video is very helpful for those people because it tells them what to do. People need to be guided through the process of, here's how to submit an application with me. So your pitch just tells people exactly what to do. And an example of a pitch video, I'll do one kind of off the cuff so that you can see what that would look like. But if I was a mortgage lender, this is what the pitch video would look like when you go to my homepage. So, hi, I'm Chris Johnstone. I'm your mortgage lender, and we help people find out the right mortgage for their scenario and make sure that it fits into a healthy overall financial plan. We help hundreds of clients, and you can tell because you can go and read our reviews on Google. We've also left some of those below the video here. Now, if you'd like to find out how much you qualify for, what your monthly payment will be, and really what the best financial strategy is for you in today's marketplace, what you need to do is give us a call at the number that's on the screen here. It's 855-432-3990. That's 855-432-3990. You can also see there's a form underneath this video. If you'd like to get started on an application, just simply fill out your name, your phone number, your email address, answer some simple questions, and we'll get back to you right away with the answers for your qualification. Again, we are really looking forward to helping you and your family get the right financing for your needs. And if you have any questions, we're here for you. Hope you're having a great day. And away you go. So we can script that out. I understand off the cuff, that's hard to keep track of. And again, you're not going to want to script that out. But if you look at a bullet point, here's who we are, here's who we help, here's what you do next, right? Pretty simple pitch, but you're telling people how to apply, how to check the ratings and reviews, how to refer your business, and how to become an actual customer, right? So those are your outlines. You've got content, you've got a pitch. All your content videos, you've got 3 different types of videos that you can do. You can do the talking head videos, you can do the screen capture videos, or you can do the animated videos as well. I've also included in today's presentation some brainstorming for you on different video types that you can shoot. So these are based on our keyword research that we've already gone out and done for you. We know that these are kind of like the top questions that people are asking online about mortgages right now. So if you're looking for like a fast way to get started with video marketing, Just answer these questions. How to use a mortgage calculator, how to get the best mortgage rate, how to boost your credit score and lower your monthly payment. How much down payment do you need to qualify for a mortgage? How do you apply for a mortgage, right? These are questions. Every single day, people are going to Google and asking these questions in your local marketplace. These are customers that are online trying to do their research. When you become the person who answers the question on YouTube or on Facebook and Instagram, you're the person that gets the first opportunity to win that business. And video marketing is how you do it. So hope that helps you. Now let's hop into our Q&A. All right, so we'll run through this. So Gabrielle says, yes, I'm doing a little video marketing. That is awesome. So Kim says, is there a stand to put your iPhone into to place your phone to look best? So Kim, yes, there is. This is the rig that I use right here. So this is called a Joby. I don't know if you can see that, Joby. That's backwards, unfortunately, but you get it. So this is a Joby tripod, and you can order them on Amazon. Then they come with a little clip on the top that you can put your cell phone in. This one, again, I bought this one off Amazon, and this is called an Ulanzi, Ulanzi, Ulanzi. And the reason that I use this is because I've got one of those, the big smartphones is the one that I shoot the content with. So all you do is you take this, you clip your cell phone into it, you lock it in place, tripod sits on your desk, and away you go. Again, you don't need the Joby iPod or the Joby holder or whatever. That one's, a little bit overboard. You just need a little stand like that. Now, there is a ring light out there, and most of them come with a cell phone clip. So you get the little ring light, and then there's a clip behind it where you can clip your cell phone in so that you get a light and like a selfie stick in the same thing. So hopefully that helps. Scott has a great question. So, hey, Scott, what's up, brother? It says, what is the ideal length to keep an attention span on a video? So, Scott, we know that there is a drop off in attention on like a sliding scale. So if the first 3 seconds is actually very important, and that's where audio, lighting, and content actually becomes a big deal. Because people are immediately going to look at, okay, how does this look? How does this sound? Am I going to watch it? So the first 3 seconds, you get past that just on the production value that you've put into your video, right? We all do it. Then after that, there's kind of like another fall off at the 30-second mark. And that's, are they confused or are they not confused? Do they actually care about the topic that you're talking about? That's why we tell them what they're going to learn in the video and outline the things that they're going to learn in the longer part of the video. So, hey, we're going to, teach you how to apply for a mortgage. We're going to teach you about your credit score, the down payment that you need, and what you need as far as an employment. Now, let's go into the next step. So as you're moving them into the next step, they know by the end of the video, those are the things they're going to learn. So they decide whether the content's for them, and then they move past that 30-second mark. Now, after that point, as long as you're concise and you're giving the information in a fast manner and you're not looping back and saying the same thing twice or umming or awing, if you're just giving good information, if a person is actually looking to apply for a mortgage, the length of the content doesn't matter so much after that point, because they're interested. They want to know. I went through a phase in my life. Well, I still am, but when I got really interested in beekeeping. I know it sounds really weird, but I'm an amateur beekeeper, and I would watch a 20-minute video on YouTube of some guy being like, hey, today I'm going to go out and catch some bees. And I was like, yeah, bee videos. This is awesome. Same thing when people want to get a mortgage. They want to digest a whole bunch of information in a very short period of time. And then as soon as they close their mortgage, they don't really want to think about it after that. So if your video is 10 minutes long, but it's 10 minutes of really good educational content about how to potentially increase their credit score, different ways that they can source the down payment, and some tips on what they need to do before they qualify, and it's all really good information, people will watch a 10-minute video about getting approved for a mortgage, as long as the content's good. But a general rule of thumb, 3 minutes is kind of like the magic number that everybody wants. How long should my video be? 3 minutes is that marker. But again, if your content's amazing, people will stay and watch it past that point. So, so take that for what it is, but we've discovered that. So Felicia, another great question here. So is a gimbal necessary or not since it's being handheld? Which items do I buy first? So Felicia, the first thing that you want to buy is that little $19 lapel microphone that comes on Amazon, and because your audio needs to be good. That said, if your cell phone if you've purchased it brand new within the last 2 years, as long as you're in a quiet room and you're not in like a windstorm or anything, shoot some test video with what you've already got. You might not even need a microphone. Your audio has to sound good, but the microphones on today's phones are phenomenal. So I don't know what type of phone you're using, but if it's recent, shoot a test video. Make sure that the audio sounds okay. Again, keep in mind, the majority of the video that's out there is self-produced by people that don't care about microphones, that don't care about any of that stuff. So as you know, your base level to get in is the same as everybody else's. A microphone is just going to make you that much more professional. So don't get caught up in buying all the gear. Get caught up in producing your first video. Get in front of the camera, try it out. Host a Zoom call with a couple of your friends and have them honestly tell you, hey, what do I look like on camera? You know, you don't want to be shooting video of your forehead, right? You want to make sure that you're set up properly, all that good stuff. After that, you know, the microphone, do a microphone test, having something that holds your camera up. The first little tripod that I had that I got started with was off of an old piece of electronics that I had bought a long time ago. You all might laugh at this, but I had like an old tripod that we used to use for like the old family. Like, remember when you had the old, it wasn't a DSLR, but like before that, the film cameras where you actually had to like wind the thing and then take it to go get developed and all of that. I had an old tripod from way back in the day, and I duct taped my phone to the tripod. I was just like, I need to shoot this video today. I don't have time for equipment to show up. It's just, you know, do kind of like, I believe Carl calls that like the redneck tripod. And I did that just to get the first video shot, and it worked. You know what I mean? So just use what you have. Don't get caught up in buying all the gear until you really start shooting and producing your content, because that'll let you know what you need and what you don't. John Bolton says, can you provide the link to your YouTube channel? Yes. So John wants to go back and look at all of my horrible videos. Oh, man. Go ahead, John. So my YouTube channel is CWJ Stone. So CWJ Stone, if you search that, but if you search my name on YouTube, we've done enough video marketing at this point that I'll actually come up and you can see my channel there. You can subscribe. You'll know it's me because the first video that I shot, I think it's close to a decade ago now, is me riding a bull. So you get to see a version of me with less or more forehead, less forehead. Yeah, I've got less forehead in the video on that one, and it's me going out and riding a PBR bull. So you'll know you're in the right place when you see that video. Toby Lynn asked a great question here. What type of projects would you go to a videographer for? So Toby, that's a great question. So if you're going to do in-office videos where you're really explaining your values, like your core values of your company, what people can expect when they come into the office, what it's like to work with you, your why of why you work with your customers, all of that stuff is fantastic. And we've seen some people in the Freedom Club do an amazing job of having a videographer come in and they shoot like the video where it's like walking up to the office and then the door opens and it goes through the waiting room and then back into the boardroom and then you're placed in the boardroom. Like there's a storyboard kind of behind it. That telling people what it's going to be like to experience the customer service that you provide, those are worth a videographer, absolutely, hands down. The more educational content that you're going to post out on YouTube, you can do that stuff somewhat off the cuff. You have an idea for something, set up the camera and do it. But when people come to your homepage and they see the pitch video, when they go to your YouTube channel, that YouTube video that you have up at the top, that should be a professionally produced piece of content that sums up your value proposition to the marketplace in a nice, professional looking, concise video. So next question here. Is there a stand to put your iPhone into to place your phone to look best? Kim, no, not really. If it holds the phone, you're good to go. Mike, what do you think of Screencast-O-Matic? I think they did a great job on choosing their name. That is a fantastic name. Honestly, I'm not familiar with it though. And if you're doing like multicasting and stuff like that, I mean, that's great. But again, I like to keep it pretty simple so that we can produce content at scale. You see at least a video of me a week. And some of it's rough, some of it's produced, but we're constantly putting video out there. And I find when I get too wrapped up in tools and stuff like that, I don't produce the content. So getting it out there is the most important thing. But I will look into that. So Brent says, would you recommend housing all your videos on a platform like YouTube? And then do you send the video or a link to YouTube? So Brent, that's a fantastic question. Definitely you want to keep your video content native on the platform in which you're driving your traffic. So when we produce a video, it gets sent out on our YouTube channel. It gets sent out on our Vimeo channel. It gets sent out on our Facebook. It gets sent out on our LinkedIn. And then we have it transcribed using a service called rev.com. So rev.com. And those videos are transcribed. And then one of the members of the team just cleans it up and makes it easy to read. And then we publish it as a blog post on the blog on our website. So the link that we send to people to watch the video, if we're sending out an email or whatever that is, we'll always direct them back to our website. We can pixel them and retarget them from that point. That has our application form on it, or that'll have your application form on it. It's kind of like the hub of where people can opt in. So when you can, take your videos, put them on your blog, direct people back to your blog. It's good for your SEO. There's all kinds of benefits to that. And make sure that you've got your pixel on there. Man, we did a consult with one of the top brokerages in Canada in the Toronto marketplace. And they've been working with these like super high-end, very expensive marketing agencies. We went to their homepage, and there was no retargeting pixel. So that's like base level for your internet marketing. Your homepage on your website should have a Google tracking pixel for Google ads and a Facebook tracking pixel for Facebook ads, so that if you decide that you want to run ads on Facebook and Google, you have an audience of people that have visited your website in the last 90 days, because that's your lowest hanging fruit when it comes to running ads online. So hopefully that helps. Marietta asks, if you use your cell phone and all of a sudden somebody calls, how do I deal with that? Is there some way we can pause or block that before the shooting? Great question. Definitely, I've had that happen to me. Put your cell phone into airplane mode before you start shooting, and that will stop all those calls from coming in. Do you ever do a short teaser video directing people to watch the full length video on YouTube or somewhere else? So Seth, that is, yes, we do. And yes, that is a great strategy. We've had trouble adapting that to the mortgage industry. So we find that your content should kind of punch in on the video, because the likelihood of somebody being that engaged in a social media video about mortgages, I mean, they're on there to hang out with friends and family members. They're not going to be that engaged in a video. If it's YouTube, it's a little bit different, but if they're on YouTube, they want the meat, like they want the full content anyway. So we've had trouble with our clients that are leveraging video on how to do those little teaser videos. So right now we just produce the content and put it out there for the people, but that's a great idea. Do you have any iPhone apps that you prefer for shooting video and editing? Brian, that's a great question as well. So I don't. I shoot all my videos using just like the phone app, and I send all my videos to the videographer for him to do the editing stuff. When I used to do it, I had an app and I paid like $19 for it. And again, I don't recommend anybody gets like super techie into that stuff. But if you want, I can post the link inside the Facebook group of the app. It did work very well. It was easy to use and was able to export in all the different formats that you need and everything. So I can post that link if you're interested in it. Scott, hello, Scott. Hope all is well. He says, is it important that our YouTube where we host our videos is assigned to the same Google business account? I asked because we discovered our reviews and website links to our Google business, but our YouTube videos were set up on a different Google email. So Scott, it does matter. It wouldn't be something that with the maturity of your business and how amazing you are, I wouldn't necessarily waste your time on it, because that's one of those things that your time is much more valuable than trying to figure out that's like a $10 an hour type problem to fix. But let me give you the instructions on how to do that. So what you would do is you would go into your YouTube profile. You have to submit a support request in order to move from one Google account to another Google account. And then they will send you instructions on how to process that. Scott, if you reach out to Beth at our office, so you can do admin@connectionincorporated.com or beth@connectionincorporated.com. Just take that comment, give it to her, and I'll make sure that she gets you taken care of and that you get that problem sorted. You don't want to spend a ton of time on that. We already know how to do it. We'll help you out with that. Okay. Gabrielle says, you stated you do videos once a week. Is there a schedule you recommend to stay out there without overwhelming people with too many videos? So Gabrielle, some of the most popular YouTubers out there produce content every single day. Now, obviously, in the mortgage industry, we need to look at our videos different because I hate to break it to you, but none of us are going to go viral with our content about how to qualify for a mortgage or guideline changes or stuff like that, right? So what we need to be cognizant of is that you can technically produce all of your video content and then not necessarily have to be on point with your video marketing long term. Like when there's rate updates, you want to do the selfie style, social media style videos. But once you produce those videographer videos of here's how to submit your application, here's your branding video, like you could technically do one day with a videographer, shoot all the videos that you need once somebody becomes a lead to get them to submit their application, and then shoot a couple of videos of like, hey, you submitted your application, here's what we need you to do next. You could lay out and shoot all those videos in one shoot and never have to shoot them again. Because keep in mind, when somebody's interested in a refinance or somebody's interested in a mortgage, they're immediately interested in that topic. They're interested for a relatively short period of time until they fund, and then they're not interested in it at all. So building a subscriber base of people that are interested in mortgage information, in our experience, is very difficult to do and isn't necessarily worth it. So what you want is keyword specific videos, just like I gave you on the Google stuff, so that when somebody is entering the market and they really want to know the answer to the question, you've produced a YouTube video that answers that question. So somebody goes to Google, how do I buy my first home? Or how do I get a mortgage for my first home? Your explainer video is there and it just sits there. That's an asset in your business, because every time somebody types that keyword in every day and you rank for it, they watch the video, they go to your website, they submit the application form, you get the lead. You've never had to reshoot that video. And technically, the more seasoned it gets, the more comments that it gets, the more views that it gets, the better it will rank, the more traffic that you'll get. A video that you produced 2 years ago can still produce leads for you today. As a matter of fact, we have videos that we produced 2 years ago that bring us in leads today on YouTube. That's the beauty of video content. YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And when people see that topic and it's good, relevant information to them, they watch it, they're like, okay, that mortgage professional is exactly what they're talking about. That's the person that I want to get my application from, and they come in. So you didn't have to produce a video this week to get that lead. You do the work once, the internet kind of does the rest of the work for you. So keep that in mind. It's more valuable to you to figure out what the keywords are and produce that content for the keywords and then just optimize what you've already got than worrying about, okay, how do I produce a video every week? because the mortgage business is different. We want to get people in that time window, and the way to do that is through keyword research and those sorts of wonderful things, and advertising. All right. Keith says landscape or portrait. Keith, great question. So for those users out there don't know the difference between landscape and portrait, this is shooting a video in landscape. This is shooting a video in portrait. So landscape, portrait. When you are on Instagram, portrait 100% of the time. If you're shooting a video for YouTube or you're shooting a video for Facebook, you want it in landscape. Cool? Cool. Toby Lynn says, I'm not sure what I would use the transcription for. So Toby Lynn, Google is not yet smart enough to read video yet. So they can transcribe it, but that doesn't go into the search engine. So when you shoot a video about a specific topic, like getting qualified for a mortgage, and you transcribe it, when you put that text on the blog, all of a sudden Google can read it and they know what's in the video. So your search engine optimization plan, Google sees, hey, all Google's trying to do is solve people's questions, right? So let's say Toby Lynn, you're in the Florida market, just because, for an example. So let's say you're in Tampa and you shoot a video on how first-time home buyers can buy a home in Tampa. You shoot that video, you transcribe it, you put it up as a blog on your website. When somebody goes to Google in Tampa as a first-time home buyer and types in, how do I buy my first home in Tampa, right? And that is quite literally a key phrase that people will talk or type into their cell phone. So Google goes out and says, how do I answer that question? Well, if you have a video on YouTube that has that title on it, and you have content that Google can read that says, hey, this person is answering that question, awesome. They're going to take your website and show it to that person on the front page of Google because you're the best answer to the question. That's search engine optimization. From obviously, we could teach an hour on that, but in the basis, that's what it is. So the transcription, all you're doing is giving Google the data that it needs in order to rank you so that you can actually get the traffic. So I digress. And I realize we're 7 minutes over on the hour, but we've still got questions coming in. We've still got over 100 people on the call here. So I'm going to keep going to provide you as much value as I possibly can. I know we're over time. I apologize. But I'm thinking that this is valuable for everybody here. So we're just going to keep going, and I'm going to keep going until there's no more questions left, because we love y'all. Thank you for being part of the membership. And that's how we do it around here. We make sure that you're taken care of. So let's keep going. Marietta says, sorry, and I apologize if I'm saying your name wrong. For a beginner, I'm doing videos on Facebook. How many times a week or day can you do any live videos for your page that would be effective? So it's effective every time you have useful information for somebody. So if rates change or whatever it is, when you have good, useful information to share with people, go live and share it. Because remember, your live videos, yes, you'll get to interact with people live, but as soon as you finish that live and you post it, oftentimes that's where the magic happens, because that little bit of engagement that you got while you were live, that then the algorithm shows that video to more and more people over time. So every time you have a useful topic or a keyword that you want to rank for, you go live, you talk about it, archive it, and post it up. Yes, you can do it once a day. I would assume right now, lots to talk about in the mortgage industry. And so once a day is great. I've seen people going live multiple times a day. And that's okay. There's no limit to the amount of times that you can go live on the platform. So you're good to go there. Raphael says, for the branding videos, do you or the Mortgage Marketing Animals have scripts or templates for the information that we want to share? So Raphael, I would take the keyword research slide from today's presentation and focus on that. For the branding videos, we don't necessarily have a script. Let me brainstorm with the team on that, because I've seen some members of the Freedom Club do some video marketing, like branding videos that are just out of this world, like just awesome. And I would love to share those, but I don't really know Like there's a process that we go through because we're always cool with our members, right? So we want to make sure that they're comfortable with us sharing it because people are going to obviously model it, right? The framework that I gave you, I would use that and then work your own branding videos because again, your brand is going to be a little bit different than everybody else's. So hopefully that helps. Dean says, is this meeting being recorded so I can rewatch it? Yes, Dean, absolutely. This is recorded. It's put up inside the membership area. And I believe that this is one of the classes that we're giving away in the Loan Officer Thrival Guide right now. So that's not, obviously we're giving away that content for free. It's not part of the Mortgage Marketing Animals Connected membership. But I believe this is one of the classes that we're giving away. So if you're just in that, it's not even a trial membership, it's just a free community right now. That will be in there for you. So yes, so there's multiple places you can get the recording. And I'm so glad that you're enjoying the content. That's amazing. So Bob says, what program do you use to show the slides when on Facebook Live? Bob, great question. I use Zoom. And you need a paid Zoom subscription in order to access that feature. But I don't believe it's that expensive to get on that program. I think it might be, I don't want to quote pricing because I'm not 100% sure, but it's cost effective, especially considering your video streaming onto a social media platform. Like it's pretty cool stuff. And all you do is you go into your Zoom account, click the 3 buttons in the bottom right-hand corner. It says go live on Facebook. You choose your account that you want to go live on. Click broadcast, click share screen, and away you go. It's actually fantastic. It's what we're doing right now, using the Zoom platform to do that, to broadcast on Facebook. Hello, everybody on Facebook. If you're leaving comments below the video, I will come into the membership afterwards, and I'll answer all those questions for you. I can't see what's going on Facebook right now, but I will pop in there and answer those questions as well.